What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dope and Tape Show. We're mixing it up a little bit today. We're not going fire protection at all. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it, from his point of view, but we're going and we're talking about the oil industry, and we're excited. So where is it at, Chris? Like, where's your rig?
Right now, my dual rotary rig, we're up in northern Alberta. We're just north of Fort McMurray,
Okay.
and we're drilling pumping wells in the oil sands.
Oh, that's awesome. And everybody, this is Chris. He's in the oil industry. And we wanted to kind of mix it up today because it's so fascinating to us. And it's kind of alien to everybody. Like, no one really knows what goes on. Like, we see it in movies,
Yeah.
But everything else is like, I don't
You
know.
always see the guys like on the top shelf with the clamps, and they're like putting the clamps and the pipes going up by,
Yeah,
and like, man, I want to do
Giant
that.
chain
That's
that
the part
wraps
I want to do.
around.
And they wrap the chain,
that's
yeah.
the funnest part on the job is being up the stick and throwing pipe into the elevator. Yeah, by
Oh, that is
far.
cool.
Badass.
What's your actual part?
Right now, what I'm doing is I'm dual rotary drilling. So that consists of is drilling casing and drill pipe at the exact same time. So we run into a lot of heaving sand in the oil sands. So it just kind of eliminates sticking your pipe in the ground type thing. So we're drilling to get rid of the water in the sand so they can build a mine around it, as well as figure out where the oil sands is in that. So
Oh man, that's
that's my
pretty
current
technical.
job right now.
Yeah,
Can
when you
I?
say oil sand, what is that? That means like where the oil is in the sand?
Yeah, so up in northern Alberta, it's they have oil sand mines, and it's what they call bitumen, which is the main ingredient in asphalt. So
Okay.
a lot of this gets shipped to the States and kind of around where we're at. And yeah, when I say oil sands, I mean it's literally oil in the sand. You can see it in the sand where you walk
Well,
around on it and everything.
Oh
have you ever
wow.
seen it like just come up?
Oh yeah, when I'm drilling, you can see it come up pretty good. Yeah, she comes
It's
out
like
pretty
pressure. It's like
pretty hard and
pressurized
fast.
down there,
Oh yeah, yeah, it's all
dude. That's
Starts
it.
pretty
it's
So
just
pressure.
can
like movies. It just comes out like a
can I? Are you able to
thing.
turn your phone? Are you on your phone right now?
Yeah.
Does it screw you up if you turn it? Oh, oh,
Well,
but it didn't turn.
you probably maybe you have the
Oh, now we lost him. There I go, screwing it all up. Everybody, thank you. Welcome,
copy. God damn it, man.
Raymond, Tommy. Let me see. I can send him the thing to put the video on.
I think he's still back in there,
No, he's
right?
here. He's here. I'm gonna ask you to
Yeah.
start your video again. Then you should be able to just click it. Boom.
There we
Ah,
go.
there we go. Awesome. Thank you. Sorry. There I
So
go. There I go, screwing it up like usual. Let's see.
kind of
Daryl, Tommy, Raymond,
Oh, there
P.
we are.
Rictus says
Yeah.
hot chicks are hot. Yeah, bro. I agree.
It's not wrong, I guess.
So we are live with Chris, and you work on an oil rig. Is that the right terminology?
Yeah, it's a dual rotary rig, so it's a little less complex than an oil rig is. So, in the spring, I work offshore because in Canada the offshore season's pretty short due to the weather and the climate we have up here. So, I'll be heading back offshore again here May 1st with the company that I work from there from Scotland, and that's a big drill ship. So
Oh, that's cool.
that's
So how long do you
how
stay
that's
on
long
the
much
boat?
do you
bigger.
think?
It's 28 days on, 28 days off. So
Oh,
you're on
that's
the boat for
cool.
28 days. Helicopter is about an hour and a half.
Whoa.
Dude, what?
Yeah,
Are you getting paid while you're on the
yeah.
helicopter? Is that part of work?
It's only an hour and a half. Once you go on the ocean, you're considered sea time, so that begins your 28 days. So you're
Okay.
paid, you're kind of salaried, I guess. So you're 28, and then when you get off, you're 28, and it's a paid 28 off. So it's pretty nice to
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
28 off
You
and
get
Like
to
make your
ride a
money.
literally,
helicopter?
Yeah, you
and
get to
it's
wear
and
big. I got a
that's
picture
a
on.
nice little break. But like while you're working, like what kind of hours are you looking at? And how hard is the
You're
work?
looking at 12-hour days, which goes by pretty quick because the rig runs 24/7. So you have a night shift and a day shift all the time. So
You're
you'll
going
work your
28
12.
straight?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 28 straight. Yep, 100%.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude.
But
You're
you get
treated
like
pretty good on
sick.
those ships though.
You just kind of do it anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you get pretty used to it after a while. I've been doing this for a few years now, so once you're into it, you're into it. It goes by pretty quick. You got your internet, your FaceTime, the
All right, I got
Wi-Fi
a couple
stuff whenever
questions
you're.
about. What about tools? Like you travel with tools?
Oh no, everything's on the rig for you. So,
How about food?
well, food's all provided, so they got the nice catered. It's all chef and
Oh wow.
everything's done out for you. It's like a big platter and stuff they do up for you. They have different meals every day, and then you got breakfast and you got your lunch, that type of thing.
Yeah, it looks like you're getting your protein.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely lots of
So how many
that.
guys like go out there and then do the oil rig thing and then go home and ball out for like 20 days and struggling for eight to go back?
Yeah, that's kind of the rig lifestyle for a lot of guys. They make their money and then they head out on their days off and come back because they need the paycheck again.
Yeah. It's almost like fishing, commercial fishing.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
get a
It's
good
kind of like
paycheck,
that. I
they
got
get
to,
out of there.
Man, Raymond
yeah,
wants to know if you had to do underwater helicopter escape training.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's I have the international and I have the Canadian one, so it's 2 days for both of them. You get spun around in a helicopter simulator underwater. You get
Dude, that's
the
kind of
internet.
scary.
It's really funny actually. The international one you got to hold your breath for it, but the Canadian one you get to use their little Cuba breather. It's good for about 60 seconds.
How long are you holding your breath for?
You're only holding your breath for like once the helicopter flips around, and you get a little kind of light that'll flash, and that's when you gotta bust out your window and undo your seatbelt and swim out the exit.
Dude,
Whoa.
that's crazy. Good question,
Yeah,
Raymond.
That's, I didn't even know
That's
yeah.
that.
So
I
that
didn't
was
know.
fun, but I mean the first day I didn't even think I was gonna be able to do it.
that is crazy. I thought that was going to be a joke question.
No, no, it's a
That's
pretty
crazy.
big one. Anytime you go offshore, that's the first thing you got to do is you got to do that training. It's a pretty big one. I think the course, all your courses together is a little bit around 10 grand, I think, something like that.
Oh wow.
It's covered by the company though when you're going off
And
though.
so what, you're in a dorm type deal?
Yeah, it's like you share your bed with your cross shift. So if you're on night shift, the other guy beside you, there's two little beds and you got a little shower and stuff. So you just kind of share the room with your cross shift. So you're never in there with anybody else, which is nice. So
Oh, that's cool.
How often do y'all get into it for like, hey, pick up your shit, kind of thing?
oh yeah, that comes around pretty good. But they're pretty strict on the ship. Obviously, it's a pretty big, expensive operation, so they don't put up with too much childish stuff. So if some guys kind of screwing around, you can be on the next helicopter out pretty quick.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's a waiting list of guys to come out there.
Yeah, you'd think there would be, but there's not that big of a waiting list. A lot of guys get into the whole thing and they get to the training. They either can't do the training or they don't show up to the training because they're in a hotel on town, right? So they head to the bars before one of their courses, and they don't
Gosh.
make it in the next course.
Oh no.
And yeah, big contracts you sign, so you have to do certain things, and you have to make sure that you sign up for certain things and to make it on time. If not, you're liable for the cost of all that stuff that they put in for.
Wow.
So
Wow, it's so
Yeah, we
different.
we deal with the hotel and the drinking thing too, as well in the fire protection industry.
oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
no doubt. I know you guys probably see that a lot.
Yeah, a lot. A lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Spending their per diem on booze.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes by pretty quick.
Goes by quick, and then they're
Uh,
asking for more. Hey, can we get some more? Can you?
Yeah,
all right, so
yeah,
you're
they go
drilling.
pretty.
You're drilling, and that's the actual the drill bit is the actual pipe that's gonna supply oil now.
Well, what I do on land is I'm a driller, but offshore I'm just a roughneck, so I'm the guy on the floor throwing slips in and making connections and stuff. So what they do is we have the big bottom of the pipe and everything is called the BHA, and that's where all your technology is. It tells them all the information in the doghouse, and that's where I sent that picture there to our group page there and troll that big bit. So
Oh
that's the
yeah,
big bit
the
that
big
just
drill
kind of that
bit.
drills the hole. So that's where all their fluids and stuff are pumping out of, and that's what's going down the hole. So whenever they tag, they find out wherever they're going. If they find the oil or whatever it is they're looking for, then that's when they're going to start producing it. But once the well's drilled, they seal off the well, and then another production company comes in and that's when they start tapping into that oil reserve that they find.
Oh wow. So
So
you
How
basically,
about
what I'm doing is
work?
exploration. So
so you're just drilling a hole and then you pull your bit out and then the hole's just left there?
they're hoping that they find something. Yeah, that's the whole name of the game.
Huh, man, it's just
But
so
now
intriguing.
it's stationary, correct? On like concrete pillars
Yeah,
or
it's pretty trippy to see. So obviously the ocean, like, it's moving up and down. So the technology they have built into the drill ship is that the ship is moving, but the drill pipe isn't moving. So when you're sitting on the drill floor, you're watching the drill pipe go up and down, and it looks like you're trying to drill the hole like that, but the drill pipe's technically stationary. It's the ship that's moving up around the drill pipe. So it
wow.
gets pretty trippy when you first see it, or you get into
Engineers, man.
So
a
that
bit
thing's
of a
floating?
storm. You
The
start
rig's
seeing
floating
storms.
out there? Well, you're on a boat, right?
Yeah, it's a drill ship, so it's not like kind of the jack up rigs and stuff you'll see. Like if you saw Deepwater Horizon or whatever with Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg, that's a semi-submersible or semi jack up. Whereas I'm on an actual drill ship, it's for deeper water. So the last well I was on, I think it was about 1,000 meters to get to the bottom of the ocean. So
Oh my
we
goodness.
got yeah, that's specifically for those
Are you allowed to
deeper
fish off the
wells.
boat?
No, not up here. I know the boys do it down in the Gulf of Mexico and stuff like that, but not in Canada.
Is
A
there
lot
Yeah,
more
is
this
is
is
there
rules they have
rules
up here.
against it?
hmm.
There is up here, yeah. They got a lot of pretty strict rules in Canadian waters.
Oh
I
wow.
know a few of the guys I work with, they go down to the Gulf to drill down there, and they tell me a lot of the crazy shit that they get into and
That's
fishing off the boat
awesome.
and
I would love to be
stuff.
fishing out there.
Yeah, no doubt. I got some cool videos that they're sending me of all the sharks that come around the boat because all the vibration and stuff in the water, they get all attracted to it. So there's a bunch of sharks always swimming around the boat.
Oh shit, don't fall off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when they actually start taking the oil, when you actually start grabbing the oil out, I mean, you put a pipe down that hole, right? Or someone else puts a pipe down the hole.
Yeah, another company comes in to do the production on the whole. I haven't done a whole lot on the production side. I've been exploration kind of my career, or I've done service. I've been on the service side where you're servicing the wells that are currently in
Huh.
installed
Is
that need something
is a
repaired. So
roughneck
yeah,
kind of like an apprentice? Like these are
a
kind of
roughneck could be
um,
like a roughneck could basically kind of be like an apprentice in your guy's industry type thing. He's kind of doing the dirtier jobs. He's doing the kind of the rougher stuff. Like with you guys, you're sending them into an attic or sending them into tight crawl spaces and
yeah,
stuff like that.
exactly.
Yep.
So
Not me.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
tanks to be cleaned out. The roughneck's going down in the tank. Clean the tank out type thing.
Oh man. What up, Corlin?
Wow. But what about with storms? Like, how is it?
There was one we had where actually an iceberg, so you got to break off from the well, so they leave everything down. You break off from the well, and then we go however we got to go and let the iceberg pass type thing because they have all this iceberg technology up where we are in Newfoundland. But yeah, when it comes to storms, I've heard of the guys had some pretty big storms. You get some pretty big swells in the ocean, and then if it's big enough, they have to break off from the well so they don't end up turn off drill pipe. I'm not sure what their like restrictions are, like what they like when they know they have to or something like that. But I know on the boat when you're getting like 3 meter swells, it gets pretty starts to move around a little bit on you.
You ever experienced anything like that?
Not 100%. But I know the helicopter got canceled going out to the rig the first time. So it was a 21-hour boat ride on a much smaller boat, and though the water wasn't very nice, there was a lot of people getting pretty sick in their bunks. You can hear them all going
Oh.
around. Yeah,
I'm sure like a
it's
night of
really
that, like you're not getting much sleep.
no. So I'm pretty used to it. I'm from the east coast of Canada, so a lot of boating and stuff out that way. But take your gravol, pass out, wake up. But if you miss your kind of gravol point, and you're up moving around too much, you're not used to it. You're gonna have a pretty rough, pretty rough couple
Yeah.
Daryl,
hours.
is that serious, Daryl? So Daryl, and if you do know this, if you do know this fella, I'll be very impressed. But Daryl says, "What part of the ocean? My buddy does that too. Do you know Troy?"
Do not know Troy. No, I don't.
All right, and Troy.
Daryl,
We were
Troy.
in northern Newfoundland is where the rig I was at. I know in the Gulf, if his buddy Troy's offshore, and he's in the States. The Gulf's kind of the hot spot
No, Daryl is up
for
your
all
way.
those
I think
offshore.
Daryl's in. I
Oh, is
think
he?
Daryl
There's
he lives in Alberta, but then he like drives to Niagara Falls every day to work or something. Something crazy.
Jesus.
What's
No,
up, Jen?
I just made that up. Those are the only two places that I know.
There is they do have Hibernia. Hibernia is the biggest
Oh shit.
production rig by weight in the world, and that's just south of where I was.
Oh
It's a
wow.
big platform rig that's been doing production for years.
Where do you pump it? Into a big tank, or you pump it
It
where?
gets pumped into their holding tanks, and then a ship comes and takes her away.
Oh, a big ship comes and park next to you, and you fill it up.
Yeah,
Oh, that must be
yeah,
eerie.
yeah. I haven't
Daryl's
been a
from the
part of
East
that kind
Coast. Where are you from, Daryl?
of. Yeah, where is he
Hell of a
from?
drive, Daryl. He does drive like 3 hours. I don't think he's driving to Niagara Falls.
No,
We are probably
no,
from
that's a
the
bit of a
same
hike.
town, Daryl.
Right there
Where is
with
he
Joy.
from?
Joy's there too.
Uh, Daryl, where are you from, Daryl? Spit it out. I forget. I want to say Alberta. I don't know. Justin, what kind of money for 28 days?
Yeah,
Well, he
what
gets
is like?
paid for his days on and his days off, so it's really just.
You're taking home around, and you depending on the company you're with. There's a couple companies that pay a little less and pay a little more. You're around 7 to 8K for a month for a roughneck.
A roughneck.
But I mean, you don't have any expenses, so that kind of.
Right, you get the chef. You got
Yeah, the
that's
chef's
pretty
making
cool.
all your protein for you.
You Dude,
Do
I
you
want to
make
ride on the
requests?
helicopter.
Get whatever you get.
What's that? Sorry.
Do you get to make any kind of requests on what you can eat, or do you just get what you get?
They do different days on everything. On land in the camps out here, you can do like a sandwich selection type thing. You get to pick what you want on a sandwich, but offshore it's like buffet style. So there's three different kinds of meat and like three different kinds of vegetables and all that kind of fun stuff. So I mean, if you can't find something you don't want to eat, then I don't know what to tell
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
As
Seems
far
like
as
good
like jobs
selection.
goes, like what is a job that no one wants, and what's a job like if you have that, like you got it good. Like everybody wants that one job, but what's one that like no one else wants too?
No one really wants to be a roughneck too much. They want to try it and then they try it, and that's kind of the breaking point for a lot of guys. Is
They want to
you got
say they fit.
a lot of pressure on you to do it. You got if offshore is kind of high pressure, like you got the doghouse, and except it's elevated, so everyone's looking down at the rig floor. So you got guys from the top guys from the company that want the well drilled. You got the drillers, the assistant drillers,
Oh, you're getting
pushes up
yelled
there.
at.
They're all kind of exactly, yeah.
You're
You're
just
on the
getting
radio, like, come
tormented.
on.
These sprinkler
And you got
apprentices
the
Yeah.
think
other,
they got it bad. They're getting yelled at by their one journeyman. You got the friggin' boss up in the watchtower, probably honking
yeah,
at
there's a
you.
bunch of them looking at you. And then you got the four other roughnecks or five other roughnecks. Everyone's kind of all yelling at each other. So
Get a
it gets to
helicopter
be,
out here. Brian's not cutting it.
yeah, yeah, that's exactly how it works.
Daryl's
Yeah,
from Cape
yeah.
Breton, Nova Scotia.
Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. There are a
Nova
few buddies I
Scotia.
know from up that way.
What up, Carlos? Thanks for joining. Don't forget to hit the like button, everybody. We got
What's the job that
920
like everybody
subscribers.
wants? What's the big job that everybody
To be
wants
in the
for?
watchtower, I'd say. That's where I want to be.
Oh yeah, driller. Assistant driller is a good one to get because you're getting paid the big bucks and you get to go up in the doghouse and look at all the roughnecks running around.
Yeah.
So
Oh, the
assistant
assistant
driller, then
driller.
once you get to assistant driller, that you're just kind of helping with connections and all that kind of fun stuff. And then there's junior driller and driller, and that's when it gets serious. That's when you're actually drilling the well and you got all the pressure from the oil companies and the
Uh,
push to get
So
the
you
well
don't
drilled.
necessarily want to be that top guy. A
No,
lot of
I
pressure.
drilling's always kind of my goal, but it's AD. Pretty happy if you get up to AD because not as much pressure on you to do a
Yeah.
whole lot. You're not the one drilling the well, so
Daryl needs a helicopter to cut down his drive time. He sends me some great pictures of like the mountains. He's got to drive for like 3 hours to get there, but
where is that the
that's Daryl. Daryl,
Cape
where?
Breton
Yeah. Where do you drive? What's your farthest drive, Daryl? What's that mountain you drive to from Cape Breton?
mountain in Cape Breton? I don't know if it is.
We need a helicopter job. We get Becky to get us
Yeah,
something, another like an island job with a helicopter.
Yeah, they should hook you up with that.
Yeah.
How about like sprinklers on the rig, dog? We'll fly out and we'll sprinkle the rig.
Oh, there's definitely companies that do that. The rig gets built in South Korea.
Oh, and then what? They float it over?
Yeah,
It's gotta
comes
be.
all the way
It's
Well,
probably
over.
way
what is
cheap. Way cheaper.
inspection? It's an American. Well, it's a Canadian company, but they would still need some inspections. So who does that?
Not a drilling. So their rigs get built in South Korea and then they get shipped over to they wear to Scotland and they go all they're all over the world.
It gets shipped over
Or
like in full size.
Yeah, she comes all together. You can Google Stena drilling drill max and there's a whole video of the ship that I actually work on.
Oh,
And it shows it getting
I'm gonna
built from
definitely
top
do
to
that.
bottom
Brian's gonna do it
and
now
it
as we're
shows
talking. I'm gonna wait and be a gentleman and do it after we're done talking.
gotta see it. That thing's big, man. I see the
That's
Yeah, it's a
helicopter
big
pad.
that's what she said.
it gives you the
Bobby can be an
dimensions about
island boy. Yeah. So
All right, then let's sell that inspection contract. Bobby, you coming with me? You gonna come and do?
I might be tied up with some office shit. I'll send Chad.
Yeah, yeah. Me and Chad will go.
And maybe I'll fly out for a day and just make sure you guys are doing it right.
Yeah.
No, let's not go on the rig.
No.
Man, I might feel trapped.
You
So
could
I don't know if anyone else experienced this today, but my personal phone like shit the bed last night at midnight and it didn't come back until about noontime, and I literally felt like I left
oh
my wallet on the bathroom floor of a dive bar or something. Like I was just like I
yeah.
just like looked at it and I was like I woke up and it said I got a couple messages because I was in the
That's
hotel
the
room.
West, right?
And then when I got to the job, it's like SOS. And I'm like, what the hell? So then I go on the company phone, which is a different carrier, and I'm like texting the wife. I'm like, what'd you do to my phone? And I have my previous phone I leave at the house and like you know, if we're in the car or something, I'll let my kid use it. And so
Yeah.
he wanted to like watch YouTube, so I thought that he was on it yesterday. I'm like, the kid did something to the phone. He's not allowed to use it anymore. It's like my wife's like, calm down. It's like we're under attack or something.
Yeah, I called. So I was at the gym and I called. Well, I didn't call my wife. She was still asleep, but I texted her. I was like, "Hey, I think there's something going on with our phones. I did switch the card that we use, so maybe I don't know. I thought I paid it like last week. I don't know what's going on. So just relax. Don't freak out. You know?
Yeah, the wife takes care of all those bills for me because I'll forget every time.
But
Yeah.
Corlin is going to be little Daryl. No, I don't know if I could do that to Corlin. Better dynamic than Bobby and little Bobby. No way, kid. Little Bobby had a I don't know if little Bobby wants me to tell everybody. Little Bobby was doing a hydro test today, and the hose blew off of
Oh,
the hydro pump,
oh no.
and so the spot that we worked at, they would get like 300 psi hoses, but then they would just put it
Nice.
together with like plumbing clamps or like a plumbing crimp, and like that was
Oh
always the
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is you're going from the hydro pump into the hose into the system, and in the hospital if you got working pressure 195, we're trying to get to 245. We'll be a gentleman, we'll pump it to 250. And
Yeah.
little Bobby's hole is just like shit the bed at like 220. And so he's sending me pictures of like
Right
a
away.
wet floor, and I was like, kid,
Uh,
I got a braided hose in your van. Like that's the hose we use. Don't use that green hose that they send you. Oh, that's great. Poor little
So
Bobby.
in the fire sprinkler industry, we have things called like we have blowouts or when things go bad and we flood a building or something like that, right? That's a
Yeah.
bad day. That's a bad day. Like a 8-inch
Yeah, I can
standpipe is
imagine.
pumping 2,000 GPM down a stairwell, of a high rise. And that's a terrible day. What is something like that in the oil industry? Like what's bad?
Bad is what we would call a blowout too. Bad or taking a blowout's pretty much as bad as it gets. So you're meeting pressures downhole. It happens a lot when you're pulling pipe. So when you're pulling tripping back pipe and you're gonna either change the bit out or you're gonna do a cement job, you have to keep your hydrostatic pressures level in your so you have a thing called a trip tank. Your trip tank is full of your drill mud. So when you're tripping out, you got to keep that equal with your bottom hole with all the pressure down there. Because if not, then the hole is going to kick back at you because all the pressure you're meeting
Right,
down how
right.
deep, ever deep you're drilling, right? So blowout's pretty much as bad as it can get. If anyone like Deepwater Horizon thing was kind of the only example a lot of people saw, that's a blowout. Whenever the muds come back out of the pipe, or there's a gas pocket that kicks back out. A kick is one of the things you can take, and you can take a kick just from pumping too much fluid down, and there's little gas pockets, so it's just a kind of bit of fluid that'll blow out there a little bit and covers you in dirty old oil or dirty old mud or something like that. But that's kind of maintainable. A blowout is maintainable, but you got to catch it pretty quick so you're not blowing shit out of the hole.
Yeah, once it starts, is it hard to stop it?
Yeah, well, what we have is we have BOPs, which control the pressure. So if something is kicking out of the well, then you can literally just seal off the well. It's called a blowout. BOP's blowout preventer. That's what it stands for.
Okay.
So do you seal off the well, or you cut the drill pipe if it's that bad? And that's what kind of prevents
You
anything
ever seen one?
from. I've only seen kicks. I've never seen blowouts. Thank God. I've seen kicks a few times on the service rigs, and those get pretty gnarly. But they're definitely you're able to calm them down a lot faster than a blowout.
So,
Man.
like, how do you get the oil and stuff kind of off of your clothes to wash it? Like, is you just sitting in a 5 gallon bucket of Dawn? I mean, how does that work?
On the service rigs, yeah, since you're servicing wells, there's oil obviously in the well that you're servicing, so you get covered in crude oil or covered in oil. You're going to be scrubbing with a scrub brush and some either heavy diesel or some spray iron or something.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And whatever shirt you're wearing is definitely a work shirt.
Yeah.
Did we let the blowout Bobby name die? Brian can't take all the heat all the time. Bring it back. That's
Yeah.
You guys
Well,
can say it
Bobby,
all you want.
I like that
It
one.
just doesn't happen. My brother-in-law is a chemical engineer. He's the one that finds the oil. Damn, Daryl, you know everybody.
Yeah. His name Kyle?
Fucking
Like,
right.
what's
Hold on, I want to go back to Daryl's first thing. Daryl says his buddy does that too. Do you know Troy? But also, Daryl's brother-in-law is a chemical engineer. Daryl, you are just surrounded by oil field, huh?
He's got everybody.
Wow.
Man, maybe you're in the wrong business.
What is
Yeah,
it? You
apparently.
couldn't cut it? I mean, what was the deal? You know? So what about if it's obviously
Oh yeah,
it's
reindeer and
really
you
good.
have at her.
So what if it so so tell me
Yeah,
how that day is. Like
big
how do you
legs.
stay warm and dry? What's
Lots
kind
of
of like
layers,
that,
lots and
you
lots of
know?
layers. Like even out here, it's minus 20, I guess. Past
Minus
couple
Minus
days,
20?
one?
and
What is that, Celsius?
yeah, it'll be
Holy
yeah
shit.
Celsius. So I don't know what that is for you guys.
It's cold. It's colder than
It
Yeah,
sounds a
we're
lot worse when you say
yeah.
minus 20 Celsius. I think it's not that bad.
Minus to be like be minus 25 here for a couple days, and you just throw as many layers on as you can and hope for the best.
Someone in the chat is going to tell us the Fahrenheit of minus 20 Celsius.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly
I
what it
think
is.
it's like
Probably around zero.
single digits Fahrenheit or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it's
mean, I
around
know
there.
I flew into Dallas, Texas this year and it was 10 degrees and I didn't like that very much.
He's
I had to go
That's
back
not
into the
good.
office, you know.
He's-
I walked out and I was like, nope, nope, this isn't
No,
gonna
not today.
happen, you know.
he sent me a photo from the
But
plane. It was like a dusting. It was like this little dusting. He's like, "Can you believe this?"
Well, it's a lot for me in
It's
here
like
down in Atlanta, Georgia, you know.
I'm
yeah,
like
no doubt, no
digging
doubt.
myself
Yeah,
out of 20 inches that just showed up like in 20 hours.
Yeah, I don't want no part of that, guys.
I'm
yeah, no
from
doubt.
Alberta. Pretty much everyone works for the oil rigs in some way or another.
Yeah, yeah, that's the way Alberta works out.
Okay.
At minus 40 Celsius, it's the same as minus 40
Yeah,
Fahrenheit.
yeah, that's where it meets.
Okay, I know that's what everyone always says, but
And
that still confuses me because now negative 20 is only negative 4.
well, think about it this way: the like the coolers, like your cooler that you're working on, is what -20,
You learned that on
right,
the
Bob?
Dope and Tape show. Where am I? No, negative 10. I mean, it's not negative
Yeah.
10 now, but
Right, it will be, but that's crazy. And then he's in colder conditions than that freaking freezer.
yeah, warehouse freezer. Imagine trying to keep a big
Yeah.
old building at negative 10.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, they have these giant fans.
Oh yeah, I guess
They have like
so.
a
Eh?
whole room
Big
above the
industrial
ceiling that
fans.
pumps it down.
Yeah.
They also have
You
suits.
talk about
They have suits I've heard about that
heavy.
you might have to wear if you go in there and have to do something. There's like a special suit you
Yeah,
wear.
yeah. Well, it's called like Frigidaire is the best. That's what we'll get. I'm sure I'm gonna be actually I'm meeting with some freezer warehouses next week. I have
I
some
would
meetings with
I would wear my Striker Ice, kid. My ice fishing gear.
That
you
would,
think that
yeah, for sure.
is
Strike.
that better than Frigidaire?
I've
Like
never tried.
Frigidaire
I
I've
don't even.
made
I've never tried that
it
Tupperware
better.
version, but I've used Striker Ice. What did you say? Tupperware?
That's what Tupperware version.
I don't know what you said. Hey Brian, is that 175?
175.
I don't know.
1.7.
That's your boy Daryl. Oh,
Some point.
1.75.
That Striker Ice stuff is expensive. The
Yeah.
jacket's almost $200.
Yeah, look at the bib.
Oh
Look
yeah,
at the
that
you got to
would.
get the Predator. You got to get the whole Predator
Yeah,
outfit.
yeah. $200 for the bibs. Does your wife know about these purchases?
Yeah, that's why last year when there was no ice, she's like, "You're selling all that stuff."
Yeah, you got all this shit for nothing, Bobby.
It's a hobby. I can't have a hobby as a grown man. It's not my fault there's no ice.
Now we got one. We
Yeah.
meet, we talk to each other on Zoom twice a week.
Oh, I know. Luckily
There
Chris
you
is here.
go.
I'm getting sick of you.
Yeah,
So you could be on the ice at -10 in that striker ice outfit, and you will just be chilling. You won't even feel it.
really.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, yeah. We got big boots that are rated for -50 and stuff like that.
So
So
that's probably
-50?
something. Like I just never had any clothes like that because I never needed them. You know.
Yeah.
yeah,
You bundle
yeah.
up
It
right.
gets pretty expensive too. Yeah.
You bundle up right, you're fine. And you keep
Oh
moving.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
only time ice fishing sucks is when you don't catch anything.
Mm.
yeah.
If you
Exactly.
catch something, and it's a good day. And if you bring food, like you could bring the worst food known to man on the planet, but if you're on the ice and you're eating it, it's wicked good. Every food,
Yeah, it's just
no
the
matter
best
what it
best
is.
food. Yeah,
It's
It's
the
just
same
so
beef
thing for like
jerky and a monster.
backpacking, hiking trips. Yeah, same thing.
I don't know.
Like
Hiking just seems like a lot.
terrible.
Hiking just seems like a lot of work to just like look around. You're just like, oh, I'll just
Well, the
walking.
whole the more it sucks, the better it is. To
I
be
don't know.
honest with you.
I like it to suck, and then like I can pull a big fish out of the ice, or like get some kind of reward other than just like being at the top of a mountain and being like, all right, let's fucking go back.
Yeah, I think I'm with Bobby on that one. I don't know. I
No,
don't know
no,
why
you
your
got to
hiking
do a
trip is
loop.
like
You
that.
can't go in and then out because that sucks. You've already seen everything.
Best part of
Uh,
the hike's when you get back to the truck.
the best part of the hike is when you get back to the truck. Exactly. You get back to the house, you're like, oh shit. Hashtag who's Chad?
Who's Chad?
Who's Chad and where's he at? Gotta get the Canadian goose jacket. No, no, don't do that. Don't do the
That's
No,
Canadian.
that's an
That
expensive
is,
purchase too.
oh, that's a pet peeve in Boston. Dude, everybody has that.
expensive.
Everybody has that jacket in Boston. They just think they're hot
Now,
shit. They're
do
walking
they?
around. It's like 45 degrees. They got a friggin' this big
The
old
Canada Goose
Canadian
and the
Canada
moose knuckle
goose.
one. The
Fucking
moose
Is
knuckle
that
one's
is that
also
are
pretty
those
good.
jackets like worth it?
I never put one on my back. I couldn't tell you. I
Yeah, look
guess
it
they
up.
are. I know they're expensive,
Yeah, it's like a
like obnoxiously
it's like
expensive.
driving a Tesla. You just do it like 'cause
Oh,
everyone's
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah,
like 1,500.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
but you
that's
go.
true.
There's a street you go to in New York, and you can get them for like $200, and it looks right. And
Yeah.
then you
Yeah, I
then you
believe it.
wear it around Boston when it's 50, and you could be wearing a t-shirt.
No
Brian the
freaking way.
chicken. Yeah, we got
What?
920 subscribers. Is that crazy?
That's awesome.
Wow.
920. We're almost at 1,000. So we kind of skipped right
Nice.
over like what you did after high school. How did you get to where you What was your first job after high school?
Me?
Yes, you.
So after I started like doing farm work when I was like 12 years old around our farm. So it's kind of when I started the whole like working with my hands. I started working on a skid steer and I was a little kid drilling fence posts in the ground. So I started getting all excited about that. So after high school, I did my first electrical. So I did electrical for a year, got my first block, and I was doing that for a bit. I absolutely hated it.
Oh yeah.
And then my buddy, who actually lives in Calgary, Alberta, he had his own plumbing gig going on. So he said, "Oh, I'll come out here." So I did plumbing for a year with him, and I actually enjoyed doing the plumbing a lot more. It was a lot of big industrial stuff and a lot of threading and grooving and all that fun stuff. So I was actually enjoying that, but the money wasn't quite there for me. And then I started operating heavy equipment, and that was just kind of my entrance into wanting to get into bigger stuff. And then I started directional drilling, and then eventually went to the oil field. It's been kind of that way for a few years now.
That's awesome, man. That's one cool thing about being a troll asset is that group chat and just like being able to see all these different tradesmen and tradeswomen and you guys are all doing something different, but it's like all like
Oh yeah,
top tiers on social media. It's crazy. Like
yeah,
the guys that
100%. It's
drive the
great to see all that.
helicopters for power lines and you guys are
Oh
drilling.
fuck
You
yes.
and we had Dick on the show.
Yeah,
He was a little off the rocker, that guy. he's,
yeah.
he's untamed, bro. He was just coming up with like crazy questions.
I'm like, what? And I told Bobby, he's like, listen, I love the show, but we can't have it in our list. We can't.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Brian's like archive it.
Yeah, archive.
Okay.
It's like,
He was just like he would ask like a crazy question that like neither one of us wanted to answer, and then it would like then he would just come back with another one.
yeah,
Uh,
I would love some
It sounds
giant
like Dick.
corporation think about sponsoring us and
and
come across.
they land on the Dick
It's
Fraud
They
like,
Tour.
land
no,
on the dick part.
we're not touching this.
He's wild in the group chat too. Like he's always
Yeah.
saying some crazy shit. That guy.
That's pretty much the epitome of the oil field worker. A lot of crazy fuckers out there
Oh,
in the
and
oil field.
he's like what's he? He's like in the vacuum truck.
Yeah, he does the
He-
vac trucks. Yeah,
And
so he's the roughneck savior.
how does
Cleans out.
that pertain to what
He
you're
does the
doing?
dirtier job.
Oh
He
yeah.
does the dirtier jobs. Yeah, he does. He they get a lot dirtier than most people out in the oil field.
He seems like he
Wow.
loves it,
So
bro. He
Yeah,
loves
he's
he
it.
fucking
happy.
loves it.
Oh my
Yeah, he's
god.
very he loves that gig. All the vac callers I know, they love their gig, man.
That's
That's
awesome.
their gig.
So what
Yeah,
would be
so
like next for you? Like, what's the next spot?
I'm kind of I'm kind of on the fence as to what I want to do because everything's up and down in the oil field. Like if they'll be busy one year and then it slows the next year and then you're laid off or you're looking for another gig somewhere. So you're bouncing around a lot. So I'm really hoping to make a go of the offshore. So in every spring, I'm going to keep trying to go out and eventually, hopefully, move up, and then I can start going around the world with these guys or another company if it gets to that. And if not, then I'll be looking to run an excavator probably closer to home and be closer to the wife because I'm sure she'll like that a little bit more than
Yeah.
traveling so much, right?
Yeah.
That's the hardest part is to travel away from home. So
Yeah, I bet the 28 days, but the 28 days home must be sick.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, it's very
What she got you
nice.
doing?
She gets
Painting
sick pretty quick,
everything,
but
and she's got you
yeah, we got
painting
a
and
lot of
fixing, and
renovations.
yeah.
Yeah, I got to do two bathrooms, so I have to bring my plumbing
28
skills over
days of work
here.
for the wife,
Hey,
28 days of work
I
on the
can't wait
rig.
to get out of here.
Yeah.
Have me the helicopter. I'm
You're
gonna come.
working me harder than the tower.
I'll do 38 on the rig.
Sometimes
Do 18 at home.
you
Oh
get some
shit.
nice slow days on the rig. You don't get slow days when you're doing renovations.
No, never. Yeah, I'm doing my first traveling now, and I was like away for just the work week last week, and then this week, and it's definitely different. It's definitely different. I was thinking about you
I've
guys and
noticed you've been
how
doing a lot of traveling now, eh?
yeah, I was notice I think about you guys and you're like you guys being away, and like, I think Dick does the same thing, right? Like he's gone for even
Yeah,
longer than you.
He travels a lot too. Well, where I live in a little town, a little mountain town. So I'm about 15 hours drive from where I work currently right now. And then when I'm working offshore, I'm 4 hour time difference, I think is what it is, because I'm pretty much West Coast now, and I got to go all the way to the East Coast to go offshore. So trying to figure out times when to call the wife type thing gets pretty hard.
Yeah, the time change is difficult.
Yeah, big time.
I'm looking for a full-time taxi driver. Yeah, that'd be good, Daryl. Just have the company get you a Tesla, and that thing will just drive you automatically there, and you can stop every 2 hours and charge it.
Just close your eyes, take me to the rig.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
that's awesome. So you said you were doing grooving when you were a plumber. You were doing some grooving.
I did, yes.
What kind of
Threading and
system was
grooving.
that? Like, what are you building?
We were doing 4-inch steel pipe for the grooving part. From what I remember, that was 8 years ago now.
Little
Yeah,
plumber.
it was this little stand. It wasn't a very big unit, like it was pretty mobile. And just kind of push her flush against it, and as you do in yours, give her a little lick test, and she's good to go.
Pipe is pipe, man. It all goes together.
hmm
So, let's see here. So, I lost
Uh-oh.
it. What
Uh-oh.
was that?
Uh-oh.
Said
Oh,
that.
all right. I thought something
Must
crazy
not
was
have been
happening. You
important.
you thought of something and then you forgot it that quick? We didn't even
Bro,
interrupt you.
that fast. I had it. I should have wrote it down. Son of a bitch.
You didn't even have time to write it down. It was probably was gonna be like
I got it.
a
I got it. I got it. I'm
oh
back
geez.
with it.
He's like, one
I'm
time at
back with it.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I was in the fire pump room and I rebuilt it.
Have you ever heard of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Let me tell you a little bit about it. It's a big
Tom,
building. It's
so
beautiful.
Tommy's rewatching all the episodes. He started at one, and
Yeah.
I have him keeping count of how many times you mentioned Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and you started mentioning it in like episode 5 or something. So Tommy's getting the tally. I'm like trying to tell him to tally everything, but it might be a little too much for him.
Yeah, I know. And
Nice.
it's it's also my fault because I
Poor.
want to tell the stories to all of our guests, but I forget about the people who come here every week and hear the same story. They're like, "Oh man, this freaking guy
I'd
won't
love to hear the
shut
story.
I'd love to hear the story. It's not that compelling. I don't have the Jeopardy music ready. Don't do it.
No.
Oh shit.
So, but I did
It
have a
makes good
question.
content.
What
There you
brings
go.
what brings you back, and what brings the other guys back there? To the rig, to the boat. Like, what is it
It's
about
it's,
it
it's
that
really
like
hard to
people fall in
explain.
love with?
I think Dick's talked about it a little bit in the group chat there, Bobby, but it's like it's just the camaraderie and like the kind of the brotherhood aspect. Like you're on the floor throwing pipe, you're working with the same guys every day, and you're all looking out for each other. You're all joking around, like having fun with each other, and it's just I don't know what it is, just the thrill of if when you're working 12 hours, hard day straight, like throwing pipe, you're up in the dirt throwing stands into tongs, or you're doing whatever you're doing. Like it's just it's an adrenaline rush, and you get excited about it. And when you leave, you're kind of sitting at home, and you're like, well, I just pushed my body for 28 days. I've been all energy and adrenaline and drilling for oil or trying to fix a well, and then you just go from that to zero, and you're sitting at home like, oh fuck. And then you get back to the rig again, and you're all jazzed up again with the boys, and everyone's yelling and screaming at each other. So I don't know. It's just kind of the rush about it. Like obviously the money's there, but I mean you can make money kind of anywhere. It's just for some reason with the oil rigs, it's just something that everyone wants to keep coming back to, and I think that's what it is for me. Anyway, it's just that.
I
Yeah.
love that, the camaraderie and the ball busting.
So
Yeah,
you'll
that's
work,
the big one.
what,
Yeah.
4 hours and then you eat, or 5 hours and you eat, and take an hour
Uh,
for
the
you
off
to go back to work.
the offshore, you get a little more breaks than you do on land. So service rigging, you get the odd break here and there, 5-10 minutes. Sometimes you got your sandwich in your pocket while you're tripping pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Offshore, you get 2 half hours and an hour for lunch, and you get to get kind of spoiled because you get to go to the kitchen for your lunch, and you got a nice spread of lunch prepared for you, and so that's a nice part about offshore too.
No, that is cool.
Yeah, nice hot lunch doesn't
Cause
hurt.
like I feel that when I'm out here too. Like there's not like that sense of rush to get home. Like when I was in Boston, I always had like the urge, like I want to get home. I want to get like let's bang this out as fast as we can. I'm hitting the road. I'm going home.
Yeah,
But now it's just like I'm here. We're working the hours. We're staying. I can feel that camaraderie
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh?
I mean, obviously, you want to get home. You want to get home to the wife and you miss her and everything. But it's good to have that excitement to get back to work type thing. I find like to go offshore. I'm excited about that job. Like I actually enjoy going to work for the 12 hours every day. So
That's
it's not
awesome,
not
dude.
easy
That's
to
good.
not
Good
easy
for
to do
you.
for a lot of guys.
No,
Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, I mean,
12-hour day is taxing, man. It really is. It's a taxing day.
yeah, that's a long day.
And some guys are going even farther. And then if I'm having a long day and I'm like thinking, man, this is a long day, I think of nurses and firemen and how they have to do like 24 hours and
yeah,
that's it. They're working 24 straight. You could work 12.
yeah. Oh yeah. 12's not so bad.
How's the
Then you
Wi-Fi?
get your Wi-Fi is not great, and
Oh,
once you leave the accommodation, there's no Wi-Fi offshore because there's issues. They think they might have interference with like certain things. They have downhole their BH in their bottom hole assembly going with the reading to the doghouse. So they are worried with some interference there. So there's no reception. So you're basically just kind of with the boys for
no
12
Wi-Fi
hours.
on the boat?
There is when you're in the accommodation, like when you leave the accommodation and back in the accommodations, like eating lunch and in your room and
Oh,
stuff like
oh,
that, and
okay. But not
like
out
the
on the.
gyms and stuff. Yeah, once you leave the accommodation, it's the whole rig separate from the
Oh,
accommodation, and that's when everything kind of shuts off on you.
damn, no live stories, huh?
No, no, you're just out there with the boys.
I need to find a way to record.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no one really records that kind of stuff. You know what goes on in.
No, there's a lot of things you got to sign that you're not allowed to record what goes on, and any information you hear can't be repeated, all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh yeah, that's man, that is
Yeah,
crazy. That is pretty crazy. All the different because it's like the coal mines with Paul. Like you don't there's people down in these mines you never see pictures or photos of it, and it's like it's almost like the
Oh,
same on these rigs. Like you just don't. Every now
yeah,
and
you're
then,
not
like
allowed to.
you see the guys like you said. I mean, we all say covered in oil, but it seems like you call it mud, and they're all covered in the mud, and they're throwing the chains around it, and
Yeah,
they always have no shirt on with a butt in their mouth, and
yeah,
right, and
that's
they're
oh,
throwing that big clamp on. Like,
Texas.
man, I want to do that shit. I want to do that just for one day.
Yeah, in Canada we got to wear coveralls all year long. So,
Because it's cold always, or
well, no, well in the summertime it's 30 degrees in Alberta in some spots.
jeez.
So
What the heck?
you're wearing coveralls and 30 degrees, it gets pretty fun.
well, 30 degrees Celsius
Wearing,
that's hot, right? That's warm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't know
30
what that
degrees.
is.
Brian's still
I
confused. He
think
thinks
that's a
30.
70. I think that's 70 something for you guys.
Man, you guys and all your Canadian lingo up there, I'm still learning it. We found out on one of these
Hey,
episodes that
I'm
you
sure
guys
you
got your
guys are
own
the only ones
money.
that use Fahrenheit.
I know.
86 Fahrenheit.
Who was on the show when we found out that they have Canadian money?
Were you talking to Dick about that?
I
I thought
think
you
I
guys
was.
got
I said
Canadian
something
money.
about like I don't
Canadian
know.
Tire money and
He's like,
Or
dude, we have our own money. Oh yeah, but then we talking about the Canadian Tire money that you guys
the entire money, yeah.
like don't
You
buy
save up for
tires with or
10 years.
something. You gotta save up for 10 years to
You
get a
save up for
Snickers.
10 years to get a rim.
To get a rim. Oh, that's
1 year to get a Slim Jim.
Yeah,
lots of
Slim Jim,
sensitive
a
info
couple
on those
bucks. It's,
boats. I know someone got blacklisted from all Fort Mac oil projects because we posted a video from the site. Wow. I mean, how much
yeah,
can you
yeah.
see from one video? Like,
Well,
you can
there's
give away
sensitive sites and stuff
like
like that
trade
too. So,
secrets just from like showing the boys playing in the mud?
well, with some of these exploration wells, is there's different like the area that we're in is an unexplored area, so they can't know like where you are. They can't know any of the information, the different depths you're reaching, the different pressures you're hitting, and stuff
Oh,
like that, because it can give away the information to another company to try and come and explore that same area too, right? So,
yeah. So keep it hush. No one want to go in there and steal the oil.
There's so
yeah.
much money into that. I mean, I'm sure they're watching and analyzing everything.
Oh yeah, well you can Google how much BP's worth, and that'll tell you kind of how important the projects are
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah,
those
they're
guys.
worth big money. Yeah,
BPS, so
I
like
watched
out
that
here it's
documentary that
SO.
you talked about, and it's like there's so many rigs that nothing happens on, but then when something does happen, everybody hears
Yeah,
about it,
it's a
right?
kind of a big deal. Yeah, yeah,
Currently at
exactly.
a
So
hundred, they're at 100.5 billion.
there you go.
Easy. That's just like pocket change, right?
And out here, I'm working for SO, and I guess you can kind of figure out SO, and then there's Suncor's the other big one up here too, and CNRL. So CNRL is one of the
I bet
bigger
they got
dogs
a
in
company.
Canada
Bet
now.
they got a couple company trucks going around
Yeah, they
the
got one
country,
or
huh?
two kicking around, a couple of half tons.
Oh shit, there's a lot of trucks. Man, this is eye opening. It's nice to always dive into like a different trade and something that we don't know every now and then, you
Yeah,
know.
I love learning about new trades and new things. Oh, that's why the group chat for trolls is so good, because there's a lot of like I've done a lot of the trades, but it's cool to see people that are obviously gone above and beyond what I did with any of it, right? So
Yeah, there's a lot of
it's really
talent.
Do you
There's a
cool to
work
lot
for
see
of
stuff
Sun?
talent.
like that.
What is it, Bry?
Do you
What's that?
Suncor?
Suncor is one of the mines that we do drill at. Yeah.
Their stock was down pretty good this December 12th.
Oh, did
Must be one
it?
of the slow times.
It was December 12th. He's looking at the stocks. Buy it, Bry. Buy it. Buy
Hey,
it when it's
no, I
Yeah,
low.
mean
it's a good time to
it's
buy then.
so Suncor SUNCOR Energy Incorporated. Their stock is very variable. As far as like making some quick bucks, looks pretty good because they go up and down year to date, between all the way down to like
You play with the stock market, Bry?
I do some.
Man.
Especially, I got into it during COVID when everything freaking
Oh
tanked.
yeah.
Like, I'm buying this.
How
Buying
dare you
everything.
say that word on this show?
It was great.
Yeah, no, I was doing the
Sure.
same thing. I put my foot in my mouth all the time because, dude, I was gonna put 2,000 on Outback. As soon as everything
Oh
shut
yeah.
down, right? Like I just had this like I'm like Outback. They got like that little door on the side. They're already set up for the
Yeah, yeah.
takeout, right? And dude, the stock was at like $2.50 for an Outback stock when I was looking at it. And if everyone told me not to do it, they'll probably go out of business. It was like 40 days later. It was at like $80 a stock. I'm like, oh my god! I ended up
Oh,
I ended up doing all these other things
Jeez.
and like losing the 2 grand instead. It was great.
oh,
Should have
geez.
just put it all on Outback. Gosh, I'm gonna go get me a steak now.
Let's see here.
Yeah, there
What
you
was it at originally? $2?
Dude, I like was looking at it when it was at the low. I was watching it. I think it went down to like 250 at one point, like
You
in
would have
March of
put,
2020 or March
for
of 21.
example, if you did like it was $2 when you started, 2.5, right? And then it went up to 86 and you put 2 grand in,
I
you're
know.
looking
I know. Don't remind
three
me.
hundred and fifty thousand
Don't
dollars.
don't remind me.
Just sleep on that tonight, okay, Bobby? This
Don't
is a
remind me. Don't
great
remind
way
me.
to end your
I was
night.
like, what was the app that I was on? I don't know. I was like, dude, I was ready to click it and just send it all. I'm like,
go.
I'm gonna risk it all, and it felt like such a big risk, and it would have been great. I could have bought like a Lamborghini.
Yeah, but you know, if you had done it, it wouldn't have done
Well,
that,
you would
right?
have had a down payment for a Lamborghini, but yeah,
What'd you say? How much was it? You say it was 300 grand?
350.
Yeah, I probably would have got a used Ferrari and then put like
Yeah,
There you
a
go.
hundred in the bank.
entry level Hurricane.
A what?
Be the dope and
It's
tape
a
man.
Lamborghini Hurricane. It's one of their
No,
models.
yeah, you just say things weird. Like you said oil a couple times. Say oil for us real quick.
Oil,
What is it?
oil, oil.
Yeah, you said it better that time, but the first like 5 times you said it, there was no I. It was just like oh,
Oh, oil.
oh,
Yeah,
oh,
well, the
oh,
South, baby.
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
there you
from the
go.
south, all right.
From Atlanta, baby.
That's from Atlanta, baby.
Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh, dude. So we were at story time with Brian.
Oh, jeez.
We're at
Here we
AFSA,
go.
and we're at meetings with these marketing girls, and they're for a big manufacturer. And then we're just being, I'm talking and stuff, and Bobby's talking shit. And then one of them
Yeah,
was like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "Atlanta, baby." Their eyes got big, like you can't say that
Yeah,
because there's some from some
my
like
eyes got big too. I looked at him. I'm like,
that's
jeez.
super corporate and stuff. I'm like, "Yo, chill out, guys." Like, what
Yeah, and then they never
are
talked to
you
us
gonna
again.
go to
They never talked
HR?
to us
yeah.
again after that. They
Nothing,
ghosted us
nothing.
after that forever.
Holy fuck. That's kind of like saying you
Oh,
work in the oil field
uh,
up here.
that was a good story. I like that one, Bry. Oh shit.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm
heard that story first time.
yeah,
Never.
that was the first time anyone's heard that one, I think. Turn on the Jeopardy music, Daryl says. No, that was a good one. I like that one. It was quick, it was to the point. It's kind of like an inside thing, so I'm with it. I love it. I'm about to start packing. I'm gonna pack all this stuff up and I'm
What
checking.
time you?
Well, I mean, when I leave to go to the job tomorrow, like I'm not gonna be coming back here. I'm not gonna come back and check out, but all this stuff's going to the truck tomorrow, and I'm gonna go to the job. And we got like a couple deliveries, and it all depends on. It would be great if the deliveries are there first thing, and I can just like
Yeah, there
check
you
off a
go.
bunch of shit. But if like the deliveries are gonna be at the end of the day, I don't know. I might have to see like if the boss will cut me
Well,
loose and
if
let
it
me
was
start my ride.
Viking's pretty good. Reliable's hit and miss. Core Main, I'm not sure. Is it a Viking?
I got like an 18-hour ride going north. I'm just gonna do it in 15. I'm gonna leave it a reasonable
There
time. You
you
know what I'm
go.
saying? That's it. I do the speed limit the
Yeah,
whole way.
set
We're
the
not
pace.
stopping. We're
And
stopping for gas,
yeah,
and
no
it's gonna
doubt.
fast we can fill it, and we're going again. I don't have to stop like every 3 miles like Brian and my
What's
wife
your
to
what's
pee.
your what's your gas station like pit stop move? Like what food, what snacks, what drinks? Like what you getting?
Oh, I'm just a rebel. Pull up to the pump, get it going, and then just leave it unattended and go inside, let it pump, and just risk it all.
Oh, yeah,
I
I did
fucking love
too.
doing that.
I did too. But like what snacks are you getting?
I'm probably not gonna be like much of a snack guy. No, I'm gonna get a couple energy drinks, a couple waters. I'm boogieing home. I don't like need to eat a lot. I don't like go and just like stuff my
Those
face all the
sunflower
time.
seeds.
I'm a big snack guy.
Sunflower
Big snack
seeds?
guy.
No way. Ugh.
Oh yeah, sunflower
Is
seeds,
spitting
big
Oh
them
fan.
and
yeah,
fucking
long
chewing them.
dry.
Where am I spitting them? Out
Sunflower
the
seeds,
window?
tin of
But no,
chew.
you get a cup. You can just get one of the cups.
Yeah,
No,
use the
not
same
doing
one
it.
for your chew
What's
too.
If
the
Spit
what's
the
the
sunflower seeds
fried
and chew.
pig fat stuff? What are those called?
what the fuck? What is it?
The fried pig fat, like chips, but it's like fried pig fat. What the fuck is it called? It's chips
Who
though.
knows? But I'm not doing that either. Like
The pork
I'll just
rinds.
like I'll
Yeah, the
roll
pork grinds. Get you some pork grinds.
for what? What do I look like? I'm trying to watch my girlish figure. I'll probably like just roll into Chick-fil-A and get like some waffle fries and some nuggets and just back on the road, kid. I'm going home.
Cooking your per diem, right?
My wife's gonna feed me when I roll up to the house at like 3 in the morning. You know?
Hey,
Hot rods.
there's a warning on all pork grinds bags. Eating
I
them
can imagine.
frequently may contribute to weight gain and high blood pressure.
I
Yeah,
can
I've
imagine.
never had one of those. Probably never will.
Neither have I. I don't need to.
That's a southern thing.
I just see the bags. I don't even, but I mean they look good.
I could grab like a bag of chips and a Coca-Cola and be on my
So
way, you
what
know?
it is, it's all it is deep fried pig skin.
You're still going about this, huh?
No.
Deep fried pig skin? What
But
the
I
I
always
do,
thought it was a
fuck?
I
chip.
do. So my wife's Colombian, and I love chicharron. So
Colombian, is
chicharron
she? Wow, we never heard that.
is. Oh, I wasn't talking to you. Just think about it. Think about it as like pig fat, but it's in like a when you buy bacon, like thick bacon, and
Yeah, yeah,
it's all like one long piece. It's
yeah.
like that, but it's cut like here, and they deep fry that and they cut it, and it's so good, man.
Yeah, my
Just
phone.
Incredible.
punches you.
My
Yeah, it
phone
tastes
died. You've
great.
been talking so long, my phone died.
Okay.
Plug this thing in.
Hey, Chris. Hey, I really appreciate you coming on, man. This was great.
Thanks for having me, guys. That was awesome.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
this
much.
was awesome.
Yeah,
And um, I was trying to go to the DM and I was like typing in Chris and I was like, if you want to give out your handle or any of that, have at it. Your Instagram handle, I think.
yeah. Inked underscore working class is my Instagram. That's where I do everything on. So
Linked
if
All right,
anyone wants
well,
to
underscore.
check me
That's,
out there, that'd be great. And add me up. I'll definitely check your
that's it.
page and add
This
you
is a
back. So
this is a fellow Trollco asset right here. If you want to give out your troll code, that's cool too.
yeah, inked underscore 10 is my troll clothes. Save some money on the troll store.
That's it, man.
Check out their page
I
for their
love it.
gear. I love their
I,
gear.
I love the
Yeah.
gear. I love the app. They're always launching new stuff. The community, it's great.
Oh, I know it's rough launching new stuff all the time. Always buying shit.
That's it. I know, me too. Always fine. All right, bro. It's been good. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Appreciate
that's
you
nice
guys.
meeting.
Yeah,
Everybody,
have a good one.
thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Dope and Tape Show. Please hit the like button